Sioux City. We're going to be sending you down to the Alley Gym inside the Rosenford Orange Sports Center. Jonathan Covert will be down there with you, getting you ready for tonight's Morningside women's basketball contest against the Concordia Bulldogs. Jonathan, take it away.
Welcome to Alley Gym here inside the Rosenford Orange Sports Center as a top 7 matchup will be taking place. Number 1, Concordia University Bulldogs going to match up 9-0 and 5-0. Number 7, Morningside College Mustangs. Your Mustangs going to match up 8-2 and 5-1. I'm joined by Matthew O'Connell down here. Matt, this is going to be a big game. Somebody is going to make a big win tonight in the GPAC after this matchup. Good this team really is.
Absolutely. Creighton's been, they're no pushover by any means. That's kind of like the big boys play up there, I would say. So for them to even push it to overtime is certainly a feat in itself.
That was a matchup they led throughout, and then you look at the rest of the way. 123 to 45, 107 to 46, 113 to 59, 127 to 51, 110 to 47, 81 65, 93 70, and most recently against number 13 Dakota Wesleyan, who's no pushover, 100 to 72. They just have been scoring, and they hold their opponents way down. 2 games have been even remotely close this year so far for this team. Taking a look at some of the stat leaders for this team and as some of the starters as well. First, looking at Philomena Lammers, she leads the team coming in at 14.3 points per game, as well as 30 steals, which is good enough for second. Grace Berry right there as well with 32 steals for the team. 14 of the team's blocks have come from Lammers as well, as Lammers will be certainly an interesting player in this game. Also taking a look at Mackenzie Kepke, I should say. She comes in at 9.1 points per game as well as 20 steals. And this team shoots the 3 awfully well, 34.4%. Free throws, if there is an issue with the team, which it's hard to say with this team that there is any issues. Only 73% from the free throw line, and other than that, this is an extremely solid Concordia Bulldog team.
Yeah, that free throw percentage at 73% certainly isn't something that you would expect from all these other stats that they're putting out, but something that really strikes me is that you look at their depth chart and everybody's doing something. Everybody's contributing to the game. Everybody's doing a great job scoring, so it isn't just the starters. The bench can play, and even some players that might not typically see the floor all that often are still producing great stats.
As this matchup, taking a look at some more of your top stats from this team. They're number 2 in scoring offense at 104.77 in that matchup. Number 2 in field goal percentage, just under 50 at 48.3. They're number 2 in steals, and that's where I think this match will get interesting. If Morningside can play their lockdown defense the way they've been able to, I'd say one of the first keys to beating this team is getting them under triple digits. Morningside has the defense to do that. We'll see how it works out here in this one. Taking a look as they're number 3 in three-pointers made per game at 12.4. Morningside, again, matches up well with that as they also have a good three-point percentage as they come in to the matchup at 33% for three. And the Mustangs really could be an interesting matchup here, number 13 in total blocks. We'll be back in 2 minutes, taking a look at your Morningside Mustangs and getting you ready for tip-off right here at Alley Gym. You're tuned in to the student radio voice of Morningside College, as well as on the live stream. We'll be back in 2 minutes right here at Morningside College.
This is
the Sioux City
Public Museum,
home of the rich history of Sioux City.
607 4th Street is the right step into our history.
Walk through the interactive exhibits and see what makes us Sioux City.
See our best moments and our trying moments.
The moments that made us turn to our neighbors for help.
Moments that had us on the edge of our seat.
And moments that had us cheering as a community.
All of our moments are near you at the Sioux City Public Museum.
So what are you waiting for?
Make history by going to the Sioux City Public Museum at 607 4th Street in downtown Sioux City.
See what makes us tough.
See what makes us Sioux City.
Do you like alternative rock music? Pop music? Well, how about musicals? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then keep it locked to Fusion 93 to hear a wide variety of music throughout the day. That's Fusion 93, the student radio voice of Morningside College.
Hey America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food in our country than we know what to do with. Food at the grocery store and food in the vending machines, fast food, health food, and seafood. We've got so much food that anything people don't buy, we just throw out. Yet 17 million kids in America struggle with hunger. That ain't right. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Yeah, I made that up. It's kind of catchy. Hello, people. This isn't rocket science. We could solve hunger today. To start, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America in your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. That's a website. Duh. We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is Abby Drilling, and you are tuned in to the home for Mustang women's basketball on Fusion 93 KMSC.
And welcome back to the Roosevelt Orange Sports Center. Morningside number 7 taking on Concordia number 1 in a battle for the GPAC. Taking a look at the current GPAC standings, Concordia does not lead the GPAC. Interestingly enough here, Hastings leads the way, number 4, as they are 6-0, 12-0 overall. Then it's number 1 Concordia, 5-0, 9-0. Then it's number 5 Dordt, 5-1, 13-1. Interesting note about that Dordt loss, that is a loss to these Mustangs right here in Alley Gym. So they are the lone loss for the defenders early on. Then it's number 7 Morningside at 5-1, 8-2. Number 12 Northwestern 5-2 or 4-2 and 8-2. And then Dakota Wesleyan rounds out the ranked teams 8-3, 3-3. Jamestown receiving votes at 7-4 and 3-3. This Mustang team comes in as they have been scoring the basketball well themselves. 4 different players in double figures on average coming in, as they are at 88.4 points per game. Coming in, leading scorers, well, Hupp and Mitchell are essentially the same coming in. Hupp 17.8, Mitchell at 17.7. Then it's Peppers and Rodenberg. Rodenberg now finds her way to the double digits as she's at 10.9, as well as Peppers at 13.6. And this is a team with 163 steals on the season. They have a lot of pesky defense, and they're going to need to play some stellar defense against a team that puts up 104 points a game.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these teams are certainly very defensive-minded. They have the stats to back that up as well. Just looking at some of the team rankings here, Morningside averaging right around 16.3 steals a game. Also, just for total steals as well, they're ranked 9th in D2 at 163. So, again, I mean, I think to stop this team, stop this Concordia offensive barrage it's going to be difficult. But I think if Morningside just kind of slows the game down, plays at their pace, and plays great defense, which we've seen they can do this year, I think they have a good chance.
Also, something noteworthy, the free throw percentage at 79%, number 2 in the nation as well. That's going to be something that could play in, and they're outscoring opponents by 20.5 points. So they are outscoring them, but for Concordia, you're basically putting up video game numbers at 49 points a game. That's how badly you're beating teams, and Morningside comes in beating teams by 20. Taking a look at the last stretch they come in and winning 6 of their last 7, including their last 2. They took care of Midland 89-66, and it was Briarcliff on Saturday 95-56. As both of those matchups went their way, they had one bad quarter against Hastings, or they could be talking about a 9-1 record coming in. But really, it's you can't have bad quarters against good teams, and Hastings was one of those teams. And we'll see how the Mustangs are able to react today. Taking a look at this series, going all the way back to 2006, it's been 16-13 in favor of your Mustangs, but as of late, it has been Concordia winning 6 of the last 7. The Mustangs did split with them last year, as it was an 84-75 win on the road against Concordia, and they lost 69-53 here in Alley Gym. As some of these totals have been a little lopsided in favor of the Bulldogs, but we'll see how this Mustang team is able to do. They've already taken down an impressive Dordt team early on in the year. Down the stretch, they played Concordia awfully well. They have several ranked wins, so this is going to be an interesting one. A couple of head coaches that have been around the block quite a while. Drew Olson in his 14th season as a national championship last year, as well as head coach Jamie Sale, who has 4 championships under his belt as well. We'll take a break for the anthem and be back in 3 minutes. You're tuned in to the student radio voice of Morningside College, 92.9 FM, as well as the Morningside live stream right here in Alley Gym.
Don't change that dial, because you're listening to Fusion 93 KMSC Sioux City, the student radio voice of Morningside College.
'Cause I'm gonna stand by you, even if I bring it down.
You see, in this world, there's 2 kinds of people, my friend.
The kind who listen to KMSC and the ones who don't. So keep your dial right here on Fusion 93 KMSC, the student radio voice of Morningside College.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Food insecurity is a national issue that occurs when people don't know where their next meal is coming from or how they're going to afford it. Every year, millions of Americans suffer from food insecurity. In 2017, over 400,000 people in Iowa alone were affected by it. However, Up From the Earth is here to help. Through donations from farmers and gardeners in Siouxland, Up From the Earth has received thousands of pounds of food to help the hungry and those in need of food. You can help these people by growing and donating fresh produce to your local Up From the Earth donation centers. Donations from those in the community can help save thousands of people from going hungry. For more information about how you can donate and where you can donate, visit upfromtheearth-wix.com or their Up From the Earth page on Facebook.
Up From the Earth. Plant, grow, share.
You're listening to Fusion 93 KMSC, the student radio voice of Morningside College.
Do you like alternative rock music? Pop music? Well, how about musicals? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then keep it locked to Fusion 93 to hear a wide variety of music throughout the day. That's Fusion 93, the student radio voice of Morningside College. Thank you, yes, you, for tuning in to KMSC. Not only are you supporting Morningside's mass communication department, but you are also supporting every student DJ that puts their voice out live over the air in an attempt to entertain every one of you listening right now. So thanks again, and remember, keep that radio dial set to Fusion 93, KMSC, the student radio voice of Morningside College.
You are tuned into the student radio voice of Morningside College. This is Grace Meyer, and coming up we will have live coverage of Mustang women's basketball action.
And welcome back to Alley Gym here inside the Rosenverdorn Sports Center as your Mustangs are getting ready to take on the number 1 team in the nation in the Concordia Bulldogs. Taking a look at the starting lineups for this one. For the Concordia Bulldogs, it'll be Riley Sybil, the senior guard from O'Neill, Nebraska, Mackenzie Kepke, the sophomore guard from Lincoln, Nebraska, Kobe DeVell, the senior forward from Max, Nebraska, Philomena Lammers, the senior forward from Omaha, Nebraska, and Grace Berry, the senior guard from Lincoln, Nebraska. For your Mustangs, it's the usual starting lineup. Jordan Moser, the junior, coming in number 17 in steals per game. Sierra Mitchell, a deep three-point threat as she comes in as well to this matchup. Grace Meyer coming in as well with a game high of 12 points against Olivet Nazarene. Sydney Hupp, the big force underneath, the senior from O'Neill, Nebraska, and Sophia Peppers, the sophomore forward from Exaria, Iowa. So it'll be Concordia in their blue uniforms with white numbers, Concordia across the chest, and white numbers on the backside as well. For your Mustangs, it's going to be their white uniforms as well with black numbers, Mustangs across the chest outlined in maroon. So here we go, Jonathan Covert and Matthew O'Connell here on the call for this matchup between these top teams in the nation, number 1 Concordia and number 7 Morningside Mustangs. Most recent polls coming out today as the GPAC finds themselves having 4 of the top 7 teams in the nation, so an impressive numbers just looking at it that way. Getting ready to tip as that's going to be taken immediately by Sybil, guarded by Mitchell. Now it's Concordia. Berry directing traffic. She'll pass it off to Kepke. That shot's up and good. Concordia takes the early advantage. They lead it 2-0. 2-0, pressure put on by the Bulldogs. Now it's Moser. She'll dribble right through it over the timeline up ahead. Mitchell bobbles it, was open. Now they'll throw it to Peppers underneath. Hupp right there, she's in trouble. A triple team bounces it around as that's going to be taken away by the Bulldogs. Berry comes up, will pass it over. Kepke for 3, that's up, no good. Bounces around, offensive rebound by Sybil as she will kick it back out to Berry. Berry directing traffic, 9:13 to go here in the opening quarter. Now it's Lammers underneath, it's good, and quickly Concordia jumping out to a 4-0 lead. So 4-0, they'll pass it up ahead, tipped around as Mitchell will bring it up. She'll pass it to Peppers, over Meyer, 3, it's up, it's no good, and rebounded underneath. And that'll be rebounded by Kobe DeVell. DeVell passes it up ahead to Berry. Now they'll lob it ahead. Corner 3 for the Bulldogs is good. And they're scoring quickly here in this one, and it's 7-0 Concordia. Moser now trying to get across the timeline. She's double teamed. Bounce pass to Peppers up ahead to Mitchell. Coach Olson for Concordia has got to like what he sees as that's going to bounce around and out as Grace Berry now up ahead to Kepke. She will be fouled as Grace Meyer will get the foul there. 8:19 to go and Concordia off and running. It's 7-0.
This Concordia team isn't playing around, that's for sure. They're very fast-paced.
So now it will be Concordia at the free throw line, Mackenzie Kepke. So Kepke coming into this matchup. Only 3 of 7 from free throws. Coming in as Meyer picks up her first foul. Free throws up as that one rattles out. And now it'll be Morningside with it, 7-0, and that's going to be a carry there from Peppers. And that turns it back over to the Bulldogs. 7-0 Concordia, 8:17 to go. This Concordia team is finding its rhythm early. DeVell guarded by Mitchell. She'll push it over to Sybil. Now underneath. Somehow that's going to get through Hupp. They go to Lammers. Now back out. Driving in is Concordia. They're going to kick it over. Kepke for a 3. That's up, and it's good, and it's 10-0 Concordia. And a timeout will be taken by head coach Jamie Sale. Well, this one's gotten off to a fast start. 2 minutes in, and the Bulldogs up 10-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds right here on the student radio voice of Morningside College.
Tune in to Fusion 93 every day to receive the best day of your life listening to the student radio voice of Morningside College.
Don't change that dial because you're listening to Fusion 93 KMSC Sioux City, the student radio voice of Morningside College.
You are tuned into the student radio voice of Morningside College. This is Grace Meyer, and coming up, we will have live coverage of Mustang women's basketball action.
And welcome back to Alley Gym here inside the Rosenverdorn Sports Center. The Mustangs find themselves down 10-0 here as it is 8 minutes to go here in the first. That'll be Meyer to pass it in. She'll go to Moser. Moser guarded by Sybil. Moser now will drive it up into the double team, bounce it to Meyer. They're going to struggle to get across the timeline. That's going to be bobbled, and that's going to be 10 seconds as that's going to be a turnover by the Mustangs. And with 7:49 to go, it's Concordia basketball.
Yeah, they're in some form of like half-court press there. I mean, they're just playing relentless defense, getting that turnover right there.
As now it'll come back, Mackenzie Kepke with it. That'll be passed over to Duvall. It'll find its way over to Barry. Barry now driving into trouble, puts up the basket, and they haven't missed a whole lot here early as it's up to a 12-0 lead here in the opening quarter. Morningside, Concordia right now is Morningside's going to lob it. Hupp standing by herself will get Morningside's first points, but that's been the only crack in the armor so far for this Concordia team. Morningside, Concordia right now has missed 1. They're 5 of 6 shooting. They're up 12-2. Morningside, well, you can look at the positive as they're on a turnover and a foul going against the Bulldogs. They're on a 2-0 run, and Concordia just turned it over. The foul goes against Colby DeVell. Now it's Morningside looking to try to cut into what was a 12-0 lead moments ago before Hupp standing on the other end wide open. Now it's Larson. She's double-teamed. They'll pass it to Mitchell. Mitchell up ahead. Morningside needs a quick basket. That's going to be bounced off of Kepke, and out of bounds it will stay with the Mustangs. So passing it in will be Faith Meyer. 6:52 to go here in the first. That's been all Concordia. They'll pass it over to Larson, to Meyer. Meyer nearly gets pickpocketed. That'll come back over to Mitchell. 10 seconds on the shot clock as it's going to be wrestled to the ground and out of bounds. Concordia takes it right back. It's 12-2 with 6:40 to go here in the first. So Concordia back on offense. They'll pass it into Barry. That'll go up ahead. Now trying to drive in Duvall. It's up. It's good. An impressive shot puts it back to a 12-point Concordia lead. That's going to be tipped up into the air, taken away by Sybil. She puts up the shot, short tip back out. Now it's Kepke. She'll drive into 3 Mustangs. Somehow doesn't get it to fall. Now Rodenberg will hand it over to Larson. Larson dribbling the wrong way as that's not what you want to do against this defense. They're going to have to get across the timeline. Now it's to Mitchell. Mitchell, 3, no good. Rebounded by Rodenberg. She drives in and will get fouled by Kepke. A foul there from Kepke will send Rodenberg to the line. Rodenberg, 77% free throw shooter. It's 6:04 to go here in the opening quarter as an entire line change will be coming in for the Bulldogs. Concordia Starters have made an impressive statement here against the number 7 team in the nation, 14-2. The first free throw's up, it's off the front of the rim, no good, and that's going to be, you're going to need those down the stretch, and you need them already. Can't afford to miss another one. Free throws up, and that one does fall. It's 14-3, an entire new line out there for the Bulldogs. Bringing it up will be Hellman. Pressure put on by Mitchell. Now they'll pass it up to Faherty. And will now push it over to Hellman again. Playing catch, Morningside needing a big run here to end this first. Now they'll kick it over. That's going to go to Chouette. Now back over, they'll drive into the double team as that's going to be a travel against Concordia. And since the timeout, the Mustangs have only been outscored 4-3, but a quick 10-0 run to start things off for the Bulldogs has us sitting where we are now. Now it's the freshman Larson trying to get through the pressure. Mustangs need to get it across the timeline. They do, and that's going to be tipped away. And fortunately for Morningside, will go out of bounds. 14-3 here with 5.5 minutes to go in the first. Faith Meyer now to pass it in. Coming back in is Peppers. Hupp comes out. So now getting ready to pass it in. Looking for the freshman Larson. Now we'll bounce it into Larson. Larson guarded closely by Faherty. Now we'll bounce it into Peppers. Jump shot from the free throw line's good. And Morningside desperately needed that. Coming into that shot, only shooting 20%, 1 of 5. And the only make was a wide open Hupp make. Now they'll pass to the corner. Concordia, as that's going to be stepped out of bounds, and Morningside gets the ball back.
Some lucky breaks for the Morningside team, that's for sure.
Some much needed breaks for the Morningside team as right now they trail 14-5. Larson now brings it up. Now, mind you, this is a team we talked about in pregame as that'll come over to Peppers. Jump shot, she gets hit hard, but no foul call. Now they're going to lob it ahead. Foot race as Myers there. Now they'll kick it back out. This is a team that went to double overtime against a Division I opponent in Creighton. That'll go out of bounds and stay with the Bulldogs.
You just have to be impressed with the Bulldogs' ferocity here. I mean, they're playing every possession like it's overtime.
Well, this is a team that we talked in pregame too. They just got done taking down Dakota Wesleyan 100-72, and Dakota Wesleyan's no pushover, but seemingly at the beginning of the season here, this has been a team on its entire own planet so far. 4:35 to go here in the first, 14-5. It was once a 12-point lead, and the 3 balls up, no good, rebounded by Rodenberg. They can't even hardly get a rebound without 2 Bulldogs. A football pass ahead to Peppers. Peppers now into a double team, now to Rodenberg. She almost gets rocked, and no foul called there either. That'll be taken ahead by the Bulldogs. Hellman now look to kick it to the corner. Now it's Larson over to Hellman. Hellman guarded by Tate Hansen, who checked into the game. Concordia playing catch back and forth. Now it's Hellman driving in, 15 seconds. Morningside better defensively since their early timeout. Tipped away by Peppers and brought by Rodenberg off the hand of Larson, who turns it right back over. Cornell comes up with it. She'll pass it back to Hellman. Concordia with a fresh shot clock. Now they'll come back to Hellman. Larson guarding, as well as Hansen driving through 3 Mustangs. Nearly got it to go, tipped around, and that should be a jump ball, and it will be. Morningside will get possession as the arrow goes back to Concordia. 14-5 right now as the starters check back in for the Bulldogs. Also Dreeling and Hupp coming in for Rodenberg, as well as Peppers. Morningside able to, looking to try to get some going here in this final 3.5 minutes of the first. They'll pass it up to Hansen. Hansen bounce pass, Dreeling looking. She's in a triple team, still puts up the shot, it goes! What a shot from Dreeling in a quarter that hasn't had a lot to be enthused about for the Mustangs. 14-7 with 3:26 to go here in the first. Dreeling coming on, free throws up, It's good. It's 14-8. Morningside steadily chipping away at what was a 12-0 lead at one point. Defensively, they've locked things down considerably better. The pass over to Kepke. Now they'll bounce it around, guarded by Meyer, as that's going to be Duvall. Back out to Barry. Barry over to Sybil, back to Barry. Mustangs trying to pass it through two of them. Diving to the floor is Moser. Tipped around. The Mustangs aren't able to get there as several bodies hit the floor. Now they'll kick it out. Kepke, three. It's good. And that's a dagger for the Mustangs there. It's a 17-8.
Several bodies on the floor that play there.
The pressure was put on by the Mustangs, but Concordia, like good teams will, find a way through that. Here's Hansen as she nearly got blocked. Lucky she wasn't called for a travel. Kicks it out. Moser, three, no good. And that'll be rebounded by Barry. 2:30 to go here in the opening quarter. Barry brings it up. She'll pass it underneath. Lammers, Hupp. Lammers advantage. It's 19-8. It's an 11-point lead for the number one team in the nation. Moser bringing it out, guarded closely by Sybil. Now football pass it, and again Hupp standing there, takes a step, bounces, and good. And it's 19-10. That's been about the only defensive breakdown you've seen a couple of times. As Morningside, if they're able to exploit that, could be in good shape here. 19-10. 1:50 to go here in the first. That's going to be tipped around. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Concordia has yet to break the arc, doesn't really want to. Here's Duvall as she's going to get one right in there. It's 21-10. 1:39 to go. Moser in trouble. She'll pass it to Meyer. Meyer gets it across the timeline. Faith Meyer nearly travels with it. They're going to have to push it across. Nearly got the over and back. Drew Olson wants it but doesn't get it. They're going to go to Hupp, who thinks about the shot, then buries it, as it's 21-12. Concordia now with Barry bringing it up into a double team. Will loft it down the court, looking for Sybil. Now they'll pass it over. Lammers open three. It's up. It's no good. Hupp gets the rebound. Has to fight through three different Concordia defenders. Now back over to Moser. 21-12, as that's going to be a foul on the play going against Concordia. We'll see who they get, and they will get Grace Berry. That's her first. Team's third here in the first quarter. So it is going to be Faith Meyer to pass it in. 21-12. Morningside looking to cut into what was a 12-0 start for the Bulldogs. Here's a shot from Hupp. It's short. Bounces it out as Dreeling. Pressure comes. Mustangs immediately into a double team. And that will be a timeout taken by Olson. Give credit to the Mustang defense. Concordia takes a timeout. We'll take one with them. Back in 30 right here on the student radio voice of Morningside College.
Food insecurity is a national issue that occurs when people don't know where their next meal is coming from or how they're going to afford it. Every year, millions of Americans suffer from food insecurity. In 2017, over 400,000 people in Iowa alone were affected. However, Up From the Earth is here to help. Through donations from farmers and gardeners in Siouxland, Up From the Earth has just...
And welcome back to Alley Gym here inside the Rosenverdorn Sports Center. Morningside trailing the number one team in the nation 21-12. As this is a battle of top 7 teams. Morningside moved up a spot in the most recent poll to number 7. Concordia stayed right on top where they have been for, well, the entirety of the season since their championship last year. Now it's going to be passed over to Duvall. Now it's to the corner. Pressure put on. They're going to kick it all the way back out to Barry. Morningside is done better defensively. Concordia just finding the open players. Sybil for three. That's up. It rattles home and good. 24-12. Back to a 12-point lead. And Morningside passes it up to Dreeling. Dreeling bounces it to Hupp, who's into a double team, and that shot's going to get deflected away. 10 seconds to go, and it's going to be Meyer getting run into, tipped around, pushed back out. 5 seconds. Concordia still can get a shot up. Now here's a shot. Kepke, three, and it's good. It's good. 27-12 at the end of one quarter. All Concordia here in the first, 27-12. We'll be back in 30 seconds right here on the student radio voice of Morningside College. The second quarter upcoming.
Assistance program helps toward the payments of a person or family's heating bill. But unfortunately, many families do not take advantage of this program. If you have any doubts about whether you qualify, call 712-274-1610 to schedule an appointment. Applications will be taken from November 1st through April 30th. And visit casulan.org to learn about other programs.
You are tuned into the student radio voice of Morningside College. This is Grace Meyer, and coming up we will have live coverage of Mustang women's basketball action.
And welcome back to Alley Gym here inside the Rosenberg Orange Sports Center, 27-12. Morningside trails by 15 after one quarter. It started off with 12 straight from the Bulldogs, and well, it ended with a little bit of a run by Concordia as well. Right now, 11 of 20 from the field, 55%, 56% from three. Morningside 0 from 3 and 35% from the field, being out-rebounded 13-6 as Concordia will start the second quarter off. Now looking to kick it out is the starting lineup out there again. Now it's Lammers. She'll push it over. Here's Barry for three, and that's going to be no good. Rebounded by the Mustangs as they're going to try to wrestle the ball away there as Concordia's physicality just dominates the Mustangs. Kepke puts it away, and it's 29-12. 17-point Concordia lead as they have dominated this one, and here's a turnover from Morningside as, well, that's a frustrating one there. Morningside gives it right back. 9:22 to go here in the half. 29-12. They'll pass it up ahead is DeVell. Now they'll pass it up to Barry. Barry, top of the key, double teamed right now by Mitchell and Larson. Now they're going to kick it over to Sybil. Sybil across court. Back to Kepke. Here's Barry. Barry looks to drive with it. Kick it back out. Sybil, Lammers, Kepke. Kepke in the face is Mitchell. That's going to be tipped back out somehow. Here's the three from Kepke. It's no good as that's going to be bounced around off of Concordia. And the Mustangs get the possession back. It's 29-12.
Concordia is playing relentlessly right now. I mean, they're every single possession is almost flawless, I'd say. They had those turnovers early on, but seem to have corrected that so far.
Now it's Larson struggling to get it over. She'll get it to Rodenberg. Now up to Mitchell. Mitchell peppers. Good, as that one will fall 29-14. Well, Morningside's been able to score once they cracked the press, but that hasn't been the easiest of things to do. Here's Concordia missing a basket. On the other side, Rodenberg over to Mitchell. Mitchell dribbling around with it now, running into trouble, hands it to Larson. They need to get the ball across the timeline here. Now they run into pressure right near the boundary. Here comes Larson. Larson kicks. Mitchell just inside the logo. Good! And the lead's cut down to 12. 29-17, 8 minutes to go here in the opening half. They'll turn around, will drive in, and a foul will be called. Count the basket as it's a foul against the Mustangs. I think they're going to get Sophia Peppers. That foul will go against Peppers. It'll be her first. 31-17 with a free throw coming up. Back out to a 14-point lead. Twirling at the free throw line. The free throw's up. It's off the front of the rim, no good. And well, that was an interesting spot. Now a double team for Larson. They're going to have to try to roll it up ahead. Now they're going to lob it to Rodenberg up ahead. Here is Peppers. She puts it away. And it continues to be the way Mustangs have been able to keep themselves relatively in this one, has been cracking the defense, just sitting somebody right below the basket and making the basket. Now it's Hellman playing catch over with Cornell. Back, here's a fake three. Now back over to Hellman. Hellman over looking for Pauly. Now back over to Chouette. 3 seconds. Now they're kicking it. 2 seconds. And that's going to be in travel. The Mustang defense has been able to slow down the second team. That was Cornell right there under the net getting called for a travel. 31-19. Moser coming in. 7:13 to go here in the first half. Concordia 31, Morningside 19. Now it's Moser. Double teamed immediately as they're forcing Mustangs to dribble the wrong way, as now it's up to Rodenberg. Rodenberg drives in, basket good. And for the first time in a while, it's cut to a 10-point lead. Now they'll pass it up ahead, trying to catch Mustangs in transition. They do not. Now they'll kick it back over. Concordia's second line out there for the Bulldogs. Morningside has a mix of their first two lines. Now it's pushed over to Cornell. 3 on the way is no good. Rebound underneath. Almost 2 easy baskets up. Still no good. Rebounded by Rodenberg. And the Mustangs, for the first time in a while, can have this cut down to a single-digit lead. Nearly a foul there for Concordia. That's going to be kicked around. Now it's Rodenberg just inside the free throw line. Good. And the Mustangs have it within 8. 31-23. It was a 12-0 lead, and then it was 27-12. This is the 3. Now it's Meyer over to Moser. At one point, this was 27-12. Now it's up to Grace Meyer. Underneath, Peppers kicks it. Moser fakes the 3, now takes a couple steps in. She's in trouble. Now it's Peppers. Basket's good. And a foul called against Concordia, make it a 6-point game here with 5:58 to go in the first half. That foul will go against Concordia. Now it's free throw upcoming for the Mustangs, as that'll go against Chouette. Free throws up, it's good, and 31-26, a 5-point deficit. So all of a sudden, the Morningside on a run here, as they have really closed things down. It's a 14-4 run here in this quarter. Inside, playing better defense. Here comes Concordia. They'll kick it back out to Barry. Now they push it in, taken away by Moser. Moser has a 2-on-1. She will bounce pass it into traffic. An ill-advised pass turns it back over. Concordia catches a colossal break there as the Mustangs passed it into about 4 different Concordia defenders. They'll kick it over. Here's a 3 for Concordia, no good. Rebound underneath has been too easy. Now the no-look pass, another 3 ball on the way. That one's missed as well. The Mustangs getting roughed up by this Concordia team, and here they come again. Behind the back pass now from Barry. Now they kick it over to Higgins. Back over to Kepke. Kepke slows it down here for the Bulldogs. Now we're to Pauly. Here's a 3 on the way. That's good. What a shot from Higgins. As that answers a Mustang run, it's 34-26.
Well, when you give him that many shot attempts, eventually something's going to go down for him.
4:45 in the half. Over Meyer. Flat 3. Got it. And it's 34-29.
Get those 3 points right back.
Mustangs now in defensively. They'll pass it up. Moser with an easy basket. The layup, she's missed it. We've seen that before, and a foul called. Morningside fortunate to get a foul after the botched layup opportunity. That'll send Grace Meyer to the free throw line. The foul goes against Kepke, her second.
Just got a little bit too excited there, I think.
We've seen that before from Moser. Now it's Meyer. Needing big free throws. They can cut this to a 3-point lead. First free throw gets the friendly bounce. 34-30. Morningside can cut it down to 3 with this free throw. This is up and it's good. What a quarter for the Mustangs here in this one. They have played very well. It's a 19-7 run. Concordia running into some trouble. Now they'll have to push it across. Kepke wide open 3, and it is no good. Rebounded underneath again. Now they hand it to Lammers, and that's a tough individual to stop. 36-31, back to a 5-point lead for Concordia. 4:05 to go here, first half. Morningside was down by 15 at the end of the first. Since then, they've cut it down to a 5-point lead, tipped away, and off to the races. Kepke by herself, and a great job by Mitchell, a stripping, no foul. It'll go out of bounds, and Morningside will come on defense. Great job by Sierra Mitchell getting back, getting nothing but ball, as that'll go out of bounds, and now Concordia will set up offense. Concordia back on offense. This is going to be Barry passing it out, looking for Kepke. She'll be able to keep it, but now it's cornered. She'll push it over. Now here comes Concordia underneath, as that's going to be Pauly, an easy basket there. Makes it 38-31. Morningside again, it's Larson. Barry's going to poke at her from behind. Larson hits the floor, a 2-on-1, and they get too cutesy with it. They're going to pass it off a Dreeling, as Barry tried to go behind her back. It did not work, as now 3:34 to go here in the first half. A timeout taken. We'll take one. We'll be back in 30 right here on the student radio voice of Morningside College. Here's we're having some technical difficulties getting back to the studio. 38-31, Concordia leading your Mustangs. But having said that, Morningside's been on a little bit of a run here in this second. They were down 27-12 heading into this second quarter and got down by as many as 17 when it was 29-12. So the Mustangs have put together a solid effort here in the second. Now it's Concordia looking to pass in, trying to push the lead back out to 9. Kepke with it. Morningside down to 3 timeouts. Concordia has 4. Both teams have had to use timeouts. Concordia, as here's a 3 from the Bulldogs. It's up, it's good. And when you leave the shooter that open, they're going to make it more times than not. Back to a 10-point Concordia lead. 3:15 to go. Now it's Larson to Dreeling. Dreeling to Mitchell. Mitchell dribbles, top of the key. Really, right now, if you're Morningside, trying to get Mitchell involved from three-point land could be critical. Myers, stop, pop, high 3, no good. Tipped around, rebounded by Concordia. That'll come back out to Higgins. Higgins dribbles up, guarded by Mitchell. 2:50 to go. Lob pass, somehow that will nearly find his target. It's going to be deflected out by the Mustangs. 2:49 here in the opening half. 41-31 is Concordia, a team used to hitting triple digits, just 9 points away from being on schedule to hit that again in this game here. Now they'll kick it out to the corner. Kepke underneath, tipped around, an effort from Rodenberg won't be enough, as that'll stay with the Bulldogs. Grace Berry now to pass it in. She'll kick it out to Lammers. Lammers turns, tries to back down Peppers. Great shot just outside the free throw line. It hung in the air a while, and it's back to a 12-point lead. 43-31. Now it's Larson directing traffic, passing to Rodenberg. 2:25 to go. Here's a 3 from Mitchell, no good. That's going to be bounced around as 3 different players fall to the ground, as a delayed tie-up call will go the way of the Mustangs. At 2:21 to go here in the opening half. 43-31, 2:21 to go as Faith Meyer now to pass it in. Slaps the basketball once, now looks to pass it in. She'll go to Larson, nearly gets it taken away. Middle opens up, shot off the backboard, no good, rebounded. As they had Barry beat, they'll lob it up ahead. Great job of at least disrupting it was Faith Meyer. Now it's Concordia forced to airmail it over to Kepke. Now back to Barry. Barry top of the key underneath Lammers. She takes a step, now looks, puts up a floater that's going to hit absolutely nothing, and it's rebounded by the Mustangs. Larson comes over, now will throw it to Peppers in the corner. Peppers, Rodenberg. Rodenberg looks to drive in as she puts a sharp shot up, it's good, as that cuts it back to a 10-point lead. Now it'll be Barry. Passed up to Kepke. Kepke hands it to Barry with 1:35 to go here in the opening half. That'll come back over to Duvel. Tipped around Morningside. Larson able to get there. What a pass as that's going to go over to Faith Meyer to Peppers for three on the way. It's no good as that's going to be tipped around, rebounded by Concordia. They'll pass it up ahead to Sybil, who's wide open, tripped to the lane, and Mitchell this time will get the foul, and they're going to give her two as well on the play. So it'll be Mitchell picking up the foul. Looked like she got a lot of ball, but the foul will go against the Mustangs. In steps Sybil. First free throws up as that one is no good. 43-33, 1:14 to go. Free throws up, that one's good as well. Back to an 11-point lead. So Concordia's led wire to wire so far in this one. As many as 17. The Mustangs got as close as 3. Back out to an 11-point lead with 70 seconds to go here in the first half. Now it's Larson, Rodenberg, Mitchell. Mitchell will be guarded closely. Now the Peppers. Back out to Faith Meyer. Faith Meyer drives, hands it to Mitchell. Mitchell with a move. She tries to step back. Now over to Rodenberg. 8 seconds there. Bounce it into nobody. Taken away by Concordia. A couple of players hit the deck. Now it's Concordia back the other way. They'll kick it around as that's going to be somehow, that basket's good. Barry somehow didn't travel with as much spinning momentum as she had. Now it's over to Mitchell. Mitchell drives in on Sybil. It'll get poked away, and I have no idea how she did not travel with that one.
Yeah, we don't have that court view or anything like that, but that certainly looked like a travel.
That was a lot of spinning and an excellent effort to get the basket to go at the end of all of that, but now coming in will be Riley Pauley for the Bulldogs. Out comes Philomena Lammerts. They'll rifle it in as that's going to be bounced off of a Mustang, and another turnover for Morningside. That's turnover number 13 here in the first half. 46-33, a 13-point lead. Concordia can settle to take the last shot. Morningside tries to put pressure on. Concordia goes right through it. Now they will keep the pressure on here. Concordia can take the last shot. They'll push it over. 15 seconds to go. Taking a lot of time now. Morningside backs off. Grace Berry back near the Mustang logo. 8 seconds to go. Now down to 5. Berry now dribbles inside the three-point line. 2 seconds to go. Rifles it. Corner. Sybil 3 is no good. And the Mustangs will get to the half down by 13. So what was a impressive second quarter start, like good teams will, Concordia does end up bouncing back. Mustangs do win the quarter, but only 21-19. Well, Morningside trailed by as many as 17. They got it within 3 at one point. They've only used 2 timeouts in this first half, as one of those started when it was 10-0 start for this Concordia team. They've really just looked strong throughout.
Absolutely, and you got to credit this Morningside team as well. I mean, looking like they really stepped up their game during the second quarter. That the first quarter wasn't looking too hot for Morningside, but they're still in this game. I mean, they are down by 13 points, but we know that this is an offense that can score quickly when they need to if they can just get hot.
So right now, looking at the numbers before we send you back to the studio for the halftime break, Morningside up to 48% from the field, but they've shot 13 less times than Concordia has. They are 2 of 8 from three-point land as well. 5 of 6 from free throws for the Mustangs. They are being out-rebounded 19-18. Turnover differential 13-7. Morningside's turned it over more. Like I said, Concordia is led by as many as 12. Morningside got it within 3, but it's been all Concordia here in this first half. They're shooting 47% from the field, 36% from the three-point land. They're 1 of 5 from the free throws in this one. Morningside really out to a strong start in this one, or Concordia, I should say. 46-33. That ends the first part of the halftime report. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, give you a rest of the wrap-up and get you ready for the second half. Morningside trails Concordia 46-33 as we send you back to the Doc Heisted studio.
Thank you Yes, you, for tuning in to KMSC. Not only are you supporting Morningside's mass communication department, but you are also supporting every student DJ that puts their voice out live over the air in an attempt to entertain every one of you listening right now. So thanks again, and remember, keep that radio dial set to Fusion 93, KMSC, the student radio voice of Morningside College.
Tune in to Fusion 93 every day to receive the best day of your life listening to the student radio voice of Morningside College.
Rich is just a really, really, really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich, no. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
What up, what up, what up? If you're listening to the basketball game, you're probably chilling. And that means you also know how chilly it is outside. It's a cool 19 degrees, negative 7 degrees Celsius if you're into that. Humidity's at 68%, and the wind speed's running east at 10 miles an hour. Hope you're not driving in that. That's tough conditions. Visibility is still 10 miles, though, so we keeping it cool and crisp. Sebastian, how you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's a little chilly outside. Came up here to go to the coffee shop. That was it was closed, so I'm out of luck there.
The coffee shop's closed?
Yeah,
It's finals week.
Yeah, I know, man. You would think that they'd have that thing open because, well,
How
you
am I
need that
gonna-
caffeine to stay up and study.
How am I going to pound caffeine if there's not selling me any?
You can go down to the Mustang Grill. We got Bucks. They got plenty of Red Bull, Monster. I think they have Bang now. They got everything you need.
Slow your roll, man. I'm not trying to die. Man, bro, I'd have a heart attack, man. I already got a bad heart.
All right, so we got the weather for today. What's tomorrow looking like?
Tomorrow? You worried about tomorrow? I live in the moment. But it's partly sunny with a high of 33, and the wind's going to be blowing again, 10 miles an hour again, and it'll shift to the north in the afternoon, starting in the morning in the east. I talk loud.
It ain't too bad, ain't. It's better than what we had earlier in the week with those like negative 6 to 7 degree days.
I remember going to sleep one morning, and because I have weights at 5:30 in the morning, I went to sleep, and then I woke up. I walked to weights I walked to weights and shorts, and when I woke up, I walked outside, and I like stepped my foot in like a foot of snow, and immediately walked back.
And what are you doing walking around in shorts in this kind of weather?
It was the day it snowed. I think it was last Friday. I was not prepared.
Yeah, the other day when I was driving up to class because it was too cold for me to walk up there, it was miserable. I'm driving up the main street right through the middle of campus, and I saw some kid walking across the street in just shorts and a t-shirt when my thermometer or my thermostat in the car said it was like negative 10 degrees outside, and I was shocked.
That dude must have ice in his veins.
Literally, like it was like I just don't get how people just are they like immune to cold?
Bro, are you not even from Iowa, bro?
I was born in Omaha, so
you're Nebraskan. That explains a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I've been in the Midwest my whole life, and I still cannot stand the cold. Once it hits 50 degrees, I'm uncomfortable.
Facts. I'm a spring guy. Spring basketball's picking up. March Madness. Playoffs kick off. You can go outside and play basketball again. Shoot. You get football. Spring training for football starts up. Get a good look, an accurate look at how your pro team's going at the Chicago Bears. Looking fire next year, Super Bowl contenders. Super Bowl contenders this year. What am I talking about? Season's not over.
Yeah, I don't see it now with Mitchell Trubisky still leading the offense. I just don't see any hope for them in.
Can you not use that bad word in my radio? Praise Mitchell. Come on, get out of here with that noise. He's the GOAT. I'm joking. I do not actually support the use of the word Mitchell Trubisky in any household.
Bro, speaking of the GOAT, you got Tom Brady. What has been going on with the Patriots recently?
Bro, is this a 2-game lose streak?
Yeah.
That is tough. It's tough. They got beat by the Bills?
Yeah, they lost to the Bills and then the Texans the week before.
Texans. I forgot about the Texans. Deshaun Watson's a legit player, though. He's a dog.
Oh, for sure.
Man amongst boys. Who else do the Texans have on offense? Is it just Deshaun Watson? Do they have one offensive starter?
That's the only name that comes to mind when I think of the Texans.
Yeah. J.J. Watt. A big man himself. I haven't heard him in the news.
Yeah, it's all about his brother, TJ, man.
TJ is a dog.
TJ is killing it over in Pittsburgh.
It's sad he's in such a bad town.
What do you mean?
If you're in Pennsylvania, you might as well go to Philadelphia. Who wants to go to Pittsburgh?
All the great defensive players in the league.
Yeah. I'd rather play for the 76ers than the Steelers, though. We're switching sports now, if you didn't know that.
I guess I'll just have to go with it.
76ers on a win streak, number 2 in the East.
Yeah, I haven't really been following the NBA too much this year, so you're going to have to kind of lead this one.
I'll give you a rundown. Zion Williamson has not played yet, number 1 draft pick. Number 2 draft pick, Ja Morant, is absolutely killing it in Memphis Grizzlies. Number 17 draft pick, Tyler Harrow, is surprisingly the best rookie so far. And second best rookie to undrafted rookie Kendrick Nunn, who plays for the Miami Heat. They play together. And the Miami Heat, who wasn't even on schedule to make the playoffs this year, is now the number 3 seed. What else? The Bulls are still bad. RIP Chicago. What else is happening? RJ Barrett is going off, averaging 15 points a year. Colby White for Chicago Bulls, 11 points a game. Gordon Hayward's back. I don't know that he left per se, but he wasn't all the way here. I miss him. That's pretty much this year in a nutshell.
Right, how's my boy Lonzo Ball doing?
You talking about Big Baby Zoe?
Oh, yeah.
Son of the LeVar Ball. Lonzo's doing pretty good. Actually, no, he's not. He got benched.
He got benched?
He got benched, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if that's still happening. That was last week. I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow night with the game. But it is not looking good for the Zoe family, or the Ball family.
Well, that is just that's sad to hear. Real sad to hear.
I loved LeVar too. I'm not a hater. LaMelo's gonna be the best though. LaMelo Ball.
Oh.
Have you seen him?
I've not.
He recorded the highest non-NBA professional basketball audience in world history.
No.
Stuff is crazy. Him and RJ Hampton over in Australia are turning up. And we're gonna get an ad right here.
Rich is just a really, really, really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich, no. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopRex.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Faith Meyer, and you are tuned into the home for Mustang women's basketball on Fusion 93 KMSC.
And welcome back to the Rosenberg Orange Sports Center here, Alley Gym, at the
You are tuned
beginning
into
of
the
the
student
second
radio
half
voice of
here
Morningside
as we
College.
get ready for
This
this
is
one.
Faith.
46-33. The Bulldogs lead your Mustangs at the halftime break. And having said that, Morningside was down by 15, and at one point 17 to begin the second quarter, but they did cut it down to 34-31, and well, the Bulldogs able to really pull away after that. Again, another 12-2 run for Concordia to end the half, but it's been back and forth. Morningside's put up some resiliency on defense. Concordia has played like the top team in the nation throughout this one. Taking a look at the stat leaders both ways, as right now for the Mustangs being led by Sophia Peppers, 9 points. Taylor Rodenberg with 7 points, 5 rebounds. Olivia Larson also with 5 rebounds as well. 6 points for Sydney Hupp and 5 points for Grace Meyer. For the opposition right now, it's Mackenzie Kepke with 12 points, as well as Philly Lammers with 10 points. And Matt, this is going to be an interesting second half, a good opportunity. Morningside still very much in this, only down 13. What have you seen, and what does the team need to do to make an adjustment in this second half?
Well, like I said earlier, Morningside played like two completely different teams during the first and second quarters. So I think really they need to step it up on defense. They have at this point they have 13 turnovers, which is 13 too many. But there's just not a whole lot going right for Morningside at the moment. They are 5 for 6 free throw shooting, so about 84% at the moment. So that's one positive, but 2 for 8 at 3-point range, while Concordia is sitting at 7 for 19, shooting 37%. So again, I think you just need to. I think if you're Morningside, you just need to slow it down, play at your pace. You're down by 13. This is a team that Concordia's team typically scores over 100 points, it seems like, every single game. So I think you just need to play it at your pace. Don't play to their pace.
Well, we talked about in pregame a team that came in having scored 100 plus 4 of their last 5 games, and on the season scoring 100 plus in another 3. So 7 times over the season, coming just short against a Division I team in Creighton at Creighton. So there is plenty of reason where Morningside's situated the way they are, but they do have a chance to make a run here in this third quarter and make this deficit, maybe even possibly take a lead. Last year they won on the road against Concordia 84-75, so it can be done, but especially the early part of the first quarter just seemed like they were playing a team that was out of this world at the beginning when they got down 12-0. Defensively, Concordia's been good, and now Morningside needs a big response here in this third as we get things started. Now coming in as Concordia will pass it across. They will be fouled almost instantaneously. It looked like some feet might have gotten tangled there as that foul will go against Grace Meyer, her second. So starting the second half, 9:51 to go here in the third. Now looking to pass it in, bounce pass into Lammers, high off the glass, it's good, and it's 48-33. Here in the third, Concordia leads back by 15. Now it's to Moser. Morningside drives in, it gets poked away from behind as that's going to be Barry. Now up to Lammers, back to Barry. They go across as now passing it around, back to Barry. Barry top of the key, somehow that pass works and that basket will be missed. Tipped around, rebounded by Hupp. Hupp now over to Moser, who momentarily loses it. She'll be picked up by Grace Barry. Moser dribbles around now to the right side. Now we'll pass it over all the way across to Grace Meyer. Over to Mitchell, back to Meyer. Meyer guarded closely, they bounce it into Hupp. Hupp has been not the factor we expected coming in as it's 48-35. 48-35, Morningside, well, if you go half by half, has kept Concordia under 100, which has been a feat this season as Lammers carries the ball. 48-35 as the Mustangs come back on offense. Something to look forward to here on KMSC a week from Saturday. It'll be myself and Stephen Cutler down in Grambling, Louisiana to cover the national championship game in football as your Mustangs take on number 2 Marion. That matchup will be next Saturday, the 21st of December. So bounce pass in, that's Hupp, nearly loses it. She's in trouble, kicks it out, it gets stolen away by Barry. Barry dribbling with it. Now we'll rifle it to the far side. Sybil, step in, now we'll pass it. Barry left wide open, 3 balls up, and that missed everything. So a rarity there is Concordia misses everything on that one. It's 48-35. 8:16 to go. Mustangs trail by 13. Moser trying to direct traffic. Gets Peppers to go up ahead of her. Now the pass goes off of Peppers. Her momentum carries her into a turnover as Morningside, actually Hupp will get it. Turnaround jump shot, no good. Now it's Lammers coming down with it. They'll throw it up in the air. It's somehow, a pass like that should never end up in the right team's hands as they are able to keep it offensively. That was a pass high arcing into the air, and Olsen calls a timeout, and for good reason. I have no idea how that pass eluded the Mustang defense, but it did. Back in 30 right here on the student radio voice of Morningside College. 48-35 the score here in the third.
Do you like alternative rock music? Pop music? Well, how about musicals? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then keep it locked to Fusion 93 to hear a wide variety of music throughout the day. That's Fusion 93, the student radio voice of Morningside College.
This is Sydney Hupp, Senior Post, and you are tuned in to the voice of Morningside Women's Basketball Fusion 93 KMSC.
And welcome back to Alley Gym here inside the Rosenvert Orange Sports Center here on the campus of Morningside College as it'll be passed into Graceberry. Well, the Mustangs trail as here's a 3 on the way, no good, and on another offensive rebound. Now it's going to be DeVell passing it back out. Now looking over Kepke for 3 as that one's also no good. This time Morningside comes down with the rebound. Now Dreeling, she'll throw it up ahead to Tate Hansen. Hansen now settles it down back over to Larson. Larson, 3 ball on the way, no good. Rebounded by Rodenberg as that'll go off of the fingertips of Grace Berry and stay with the Mustangs. We've seen a couple of passes in this game that have been interesting in how they just hang up in the air so long as the Mustang defense hasn't been able to bring him down. Now it's going to come over to Dreeling. Bounce pass over to Hansen to Rodenberg. Rodenberg guarded by Lammers. Spin move. She's going to take on Lammers to no avail. Lammers takes it away. And here come the Bulldogs back the other way. Lammers trying to go coast to coast. Jump shot up. No good. Rebounded by Rodenberg. Rodenberg passes it off to Larson. Now Larson stops. They're going to throw it to Rodenberg. They still haven't crossed the timeline. They have to get across the timeline, and finally a foul is going to be called. Morningside taking an eternity to get across the timeline there as that foul will go, I believe, against Kepke. No, they're going to give that to DeVell. That's her second. Now Morningside again coming back on offense. They'll look to pass it as this time they'll be able to at least start with the ball on the right side of the timeline. Now trying to bounce pass in, they do. Now it's Dreeling handing to Larson. Larson with a little bit of separation. He'll pass it over to Faith Meyer underneath. Rodenberg. Shot is up, and I believe there's going to be a travel there against the Mustangs as they turn it over. So Rebecca Higgins back as she will look to pass it in. Higgins now rifles it in just ahead of Dreeling. Now it's Concordia for 4-on-5 for Concordia. They'll look. Now coming back over. Playing catch is Chouette. Now it's Sybil. She'll drive in, puts up a shot off glass. It's good. And, well, it's been a hot minute since anybody's scored. It's 6:20 to go as Concordia gets a takeaway right away. 15-point lead. It's 50-35. Morningside with a full line change coming up as it will be coming back to starters. Now they'll push it over. Higgins guarded by Hansen. Higgins looks, kicks it back all the way out, back near the tip-off circle. Higgins, three left open. It's no good. Tipped around and a foul as that will go against Tara Chouette. That's her second. So that will be a full line change for the Mustangs as now it's going to be Hupp, Moser, as well as Peppers, Mitchell, and Grace Meyer out there. Still a 15-point deficit, but the Mustangs have gotten it within three. Now it's Peppers. They look to try to do it again underneath. Hupp, shot missed, rebounded by Concordia's Higgins as they will pass it again, and that's going to be tipped right around, and Mitchell gets the rebound. First time Concordia's had to pay for that type of pass. Now it's going to come over to Mitchell. She drives in and puts up a wild shot, no good, as that's going to be bounced around, and that'll stay with the Mustangs off of Lammers. Well, right now Morningside hanging tough. They're keeping Concordia right now seemingly under their triple-digit pace, but still 5.5 to go here in the third, plus all of the fourth. Right now they've only scored 4 here in the third. That three is up, no good. Morningside scored 2, so 6 points between the two teams to start this third. They'll pass it around. Now a double team. They'll try to look for the open corner. Now they have a runner. They're going to come over to another three for Concordia. Missed, nearly got stuck. Now a reverse layup, no good. A jump ball as that's going to be staying with the Mustangs. 50-35. For a team that's really taken it to the conference so far, they're doing a decent job of doing that here. That's going to be tipped right back out to Peppers. Here's a shot from the free throw line, no good. And Concordia heads back the other way. 4:50 to go. Now up ahead as that's going to be cut off by Grace Meyer. Give credit to this Mustang defense for wisening up to those odd passes you're not used to seeing, at least not used to seeing and working. Here's Grace Meyer for three, no good, off the front of the rim. Now it's Lammers. She'll dive at the feet of Hupp, and somehow that's going to end up in the hands of the Bulldogs. That's going to be bounced around, now taken away by Mitchell. Morningside needs a basket off these turnovers, and they get one there, and it's 50-38. Another timeout taken by Drew Olson of Concordia, and a timeout will be taken. So Concordia 50-38, not a comfortable enough lead. We'll be back in 30 right here on the student radio voice of Morningside College.
This is
the Sioux City
Public Museum, home of the rich history of Sioux City.
607 4th Street is the right step into our history.
Walk through the interactive exhibits and see what makes us Sioux City.
See our best moments and our trying moments.
The moments that made us turn to our neighbors for help.
Moments that had us on the edge of our seat.
And moments that had us cheering as a community.
All of our moments are near you at the Sioux City Public Museum.
So what are you waiting for?
Make history by going to the Sioux City Public Museum at 607 4th Street in downtown Sioux City.
See what makes us tough.
See what makes us Sioux City.
You are tuned into the student radio voice of Morningside College. This is Grace Meyer, and coming up we will have live coverage of Mustang women's basketball action.
And welcome back to Alley Gym. A special thanks to those of you watching on the Morningside Athletics live stream, as well as those of you listening on KMSC or the Radio FX app. 4:22 to go here in the third. It's 50-38, but having said that, head coach of Concordia, Olson, just took a timeout, probably to slow his team down. They'd turned it over several times, but Morningside was not able to do anything until the last three-pointer as they trail by 12. But for Concordia, this probably feels like a slow night scoring-wise as they just hit 50. Now they'll pass it over. Looking around, 4 minutes to go here in the third. Bounce pass underneath. The basket missed as that's going to come over to Rodenberg to Moser. Moser picked up immediately by Grace Berry. Passes it up to Rodenberg. Now to Meyer. Bounce pass Peppers. Rodenberg driving in, and she overran herself, but Now it's Moser for straight on three. No good. That's one that's tough to miss. Moser again from three, and this time she buries it. It's a 9-point Morningside deficit. We talked about it in the halftime break. They got within 34-31. Now they'll bounce it back out. They've trailed by as many as 17 and have yet to lead. 3.5 to go here in the third. 50-41. Morningside down by 9 as that's going to be Barry underneath. Basket missed again. Collisions all around. No foul called. Now it's Moser getting it taken away. And that's going to be a foul called. I guess they're going to get Peppers, as there was plenty of fouls to be called both ways. They end up getting Peppers, as that's going to be her second. Concordia retains possession. Morningside defensively has just been that close to getting one of these out. They just haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, they're getting the turnovers, I mean, in everything, but they just can't turn those into points, unfortunately.
So 50-41, Morningside down by 9. Now they'll pass it in, jump shot, miss. No, that actually gets the friendliest bounce in history and goes in. It's 52-41. Now up ahead is Rodenberg. They break the press, now gets it over to Grace Meyer. Meyer to Mitchell. Mitchell thought about a three. Now we'll pass it over. Grace Meyer left open. 3 ball in the way. It's good. And Morningside cuts it now to an 8-point lead. It's 52-44. Scoring finally starting to open up with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the third. Defenses have been on a clinic, as right now the teams combined for 17 here in the third. And there have been team scores of 27 and 19 in 2 quarters for Concordia, 12 and 21 for Morningside. It's 11-6 here in the third. 52-44. Concordia being kept way under average here in this one. So the Mustangs within 8. That pass will come underneath. Now rifles it back out. They'll kick it over to the logo. Now it's Kepke for 3 wide open, and that's something you can't do if you're going to want to rally against this team. The 3's buried. It's an 11-point Concordia advantage. Now it's Larson. Over Peppers, why not? 3, no good, tipped around, and the rebound is going to be corralled by Concordia, throwing it up ahead to Lammers. Lammers to Kepke, who bobbles it, and it's dangerous, and she missed spiking it off the Mustang legs. She tried to get a free possession. That's going to be taken away, as this has turned into a turnover show, as Morningside now turns it back over. It's 57-44. Right after you get a possession gifted to you, they pass it right back and turn it over. Now it's Larson. 57-44. If Mustangs could get within 10 before this last 95 seconds goes off the clock, that could be huge. Now underneath, Rodenberg gets jostled. Basket up, no good. Now they'll float it up ahead. Coming to chase it down's Hellman. She'll pass it. Basket no good, and that's a fortunate miss. As Morningside now, 1:18 to go here in the third. Larson over. Faith Meyer, 3. It's no good, as that's going to be rebounded by Concordia. Now they'll throw it up ahead and get it off of the foot of Mitchell. A fortunate roll there for Concordia, as this one goes back and forth with turnovers and good defense, as the teams right now combining for 31 turnovers. Morningside has 19 of those. So Concordia holding the advantage there. And right now the team's shooting 32 and 29% from 3, 41 and 39% from the field. 63 seconds to go here in the third. Now it comes out. Lammers, 3, up no good. Rebounded by Hupp. 13-point lead. Morningside can still cut it within 10. Possibly 11, but they need points. Keeping Concordia at bay, but not able to put away points. They're going to bounce it off, and fortunate to get a kickball there from Kepke, as the pass just bounced off her leg. Faith Meyer to pass it in. 43 seconds to go here in the third. Mustangs looking like they're just one big, or not even a big adjustment at this point, one adjustment away as Larson gets stuffed. That's going to come back out. A foul goes against Kepke. That's her third. Well, Mustangs seem, like I was saying, just one adjustment away from giving themselves a good opportunity in this matchup to get right back in it and even lead it. So Kepke, who's been a big player so far in this one, leading the team with 15 points, no rebounds, but 3 assists. She has 3 fouls. Now it's going to be passed in. Mitchell looking for some room. She is not able to find it, puts up a basket, good. And that makes it 57-46. 11-point Concordia lead. There's about a half second between game clock and shot clock. Lammers bobbles it, and somehow the Mustangs aren't able to get that, as Concordia settling for what will essentially be the last shot. Now it comes over. Here's Barry, guarded by Larson. Barry with the moves, 8 seconds. Shots up to the corner, and that basket is good. They bury another 3, and it's 60-46. Long shot up, no good. And that will send us to the 4th quarter. Morningside puts up a solid fight, but will come up down by 14 as we head to quarter number 4. We'll be back in 1 minute right here on the student radio voice of Morningside College.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Come on, sweetie. I know you're hungry, but I need you to settle down. I'm trying, honey, I really am. But it seems there's no baby formula at home that I can find. I wish somebody could help.
Ma'am, there is a place you speak of. The Council of Sexual Assault and Domestic Violence helps care for people in situations in need. Baby formula is greatly needed of donations this type of year. You could donate at csadvsiouxland.org. That's csadvsiouxland.org.
This is Sydney Hupp, Senior Post, and you are tuned in to the voice of Morningside Women's Basketball Fusion 93 KMSC.
And welcome back here in Alley Gym as your Mustangs trail 60-46. They've trailed by as many as 17. They had to cut to a 9-point lead, and then Concordia went on a 10-5 run. They'll kick it over. Concordia looking to try to start off the quarter with a basket. They'll keep throwing it side to side here. Now they will settle it at the top of the key. Going underneath, ill-advised pass. That's going to come out. Larson passing it now over. Now they go to Dreely, who should have a basket. Yes, she does. And that cuts it to 12 at 60-48. Concordia up ahead. Really, they can trade baskets the rest of the way. It's not going to be what they're used to, hitting triple digits in all likelihood, barring a scoring barrage here in this 4th. But that's going to come out, partially blocked. Maybe that was a pass. It's good. Wow, Drew Olson wants an and one. He's not going to get it, but they get the basket anyway at 62-48. Now it's Morningside. They need a basket and some defense on the other side. 8:55 to go as Hupp's going to get fouled in and one. As Morningside's cut it back to a 12-point lead at 62-50. 62-50, the foul will be the 3rd against Chouette. 62-50, a 3-throw here from Hupp could be big. Mustangs have 5 of 6. Concordia's been much less than that. That's been the weakest part of the game. We talked about it coming in. They're 1 of 5. Free throw here from Hupp. It's short. It's off the front of the rim. No good. That one didn't get enough of an arc with it. They'll pass it up. Kepke in. She has 3 fouls. Now they'll pass it over to DeVell. Now looking, settling it is Barry. She'll pass it over to DeVell. Back to Barry. 8:39 to go here in regulation. Lob pass up, tipped into the air by Dreeling. Now they'll steal it. Now it's Moser, 62-50. Bounce pass to Dreeling. Now they'll float it, tipped in the air. And this should be an easy basket up ahead for Concordia. They bury that one as Barry with the takeaway. And the Moser was just not able to get it over him, 64-50. 14-point lead for Concordia, much less than what they're used to coming in, beating teams on an average of 49 points a game. Driving in, Moser's going to get fouled. Lammers a little surprised with the foul there, as that's going to be her first. So, or pardon me, that's going to be Lammers' second foul. So Lammers picks up foul number 2. So Lammers with 2, Kepke with 3. First free throw from Moser's up, and boy, they need to make those free throws. The first one's missed, as it's a 14-point Mustang deficit. 8:05, still plenty of time. Second free throw's up, it's good. 64-51, it's back to 13. Mustangs have fought back nicely a couple of different times. They got it within 3 in the second, within 9 in the third, but right now down with 8 minutes to go in regulation. They're down 13. They'll pass it, tipped up into the air as Peppers nearly gets it to fall. They'll pass it underneath to DeVell. She's double teamed, now a spin move, now triple team, kicks it out to Kepke. Kepke over, now they're gonna go all the way across to Sybil. She'll drive in, now kicks it, Kepke, left open, 3 on the way, it's no good, rebounded by Hupp into a crowd of people, as that's gonna be Peppers, now over to Moser. Moser across the timeline, 7.5 minutes to go in regulation, 64-51, that'll be passed to Peppers, fortunate they didn't turn it over. Rodenberg, long 2, rebound is taken by Kepke after the shot miss, and Concordia comes back the other way, as that's going to be a foul away from the play. We'll see who they get, as that's going to be Hupp away from the foul, or away from the play, I should say. That's Hupp's first. So Concordia now, 25 seconds to work with on the shot clock. They'll bounce it off of Taylor Rodenberg, and that'll go right to Hupp. An interesting decision to bounce it off of a Mustang. Now they try to pickpocket Moser. They are not able to do that. Here's Rodenberg, up, no good. She gets fouled, I believe that's Lammers again, as that's going to be Lammers' third, if indeed it is her, and it is going to be Philomena Lammers' third foul. So they're running into some foul trouble, but the Mustangs haven't been able to convert the free throws. Rodenberg up, that one's good, and it's 64-52. A single bounce, looking to try to make it back-to-back. She makes both of them. It's back to an 11-point game. Morningside having an impressive effort here, is fighting from 12-0 down to begin the game, and by 17 at a different point, that's been the biggest Concordia lead. Now they have it at 11. As now settling back is Barry. They're inclined to let some time run. Going underneath, Lammers. Now they'll kick it to Kepke. Kepke into a triple team. Now DeVell for 3, and that one's good. 67-53. They're able to make the 3 when Morningside stops the underneath game. And with 6.5 to go, it's a 14-point advantage for Concordia. Hupp drives into trouble. She's going to get fouled. Now it's just a matter of who it went against. We'll see who the foul goes against on this one, and that will go against Kepke. So it's Kepke's fourth. Kepke with 4, Lammers with 3, and DeVell with 2. That's where some of your starters are, as well as Barry has 1. Now it's Hupp at the free throw line. 6.5 minutes to go. Free throw up, it's good. 67-54. Looking to make it a 2-for-2 trip is Hupp. Shot up, and good. 67-55, and a timeout will be taken on the floor. We'll be back in 30 seconds right here on the Student Radio Voice of Morningside College. 6:29 to go. The Mustangs trail by 12. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Francis. I'm a German Shepherd at Sioux City Animal Adoption and Rescue Center. I like long walks on the beach and playing Frisbee in front of cute boys. But here's the bad part. I got dumped at Riverside Park. When the rescue center found me, I was weak and very scared. I was abused. Because of the rescue center, I am much better, but I still need my forever home. Maybe that could be you.
Volunteer or adopt today. Stop by the rescue center to see Francis and the others. Check out SiouxCityAnimalShelter.com for more information.
You are tuned into the student radio voice of Morningside College. This is Grace Meyer, and coming up we will have live coverage of Mustang women's basketball action.
And welcome back to the Rosenberg Orange Sports Center. 6:29 to go here in the regulation, 67-55. Morningside and Concordia both have 2 timeouts remaining. The Mustangs well within one surge is all it would take to make this a single-digit deficit. Right now, 67-55. They'll pass it in underneath. Lammer, shot deflected. They're going to get Hupp for a foul. Hupp's second foul that might have gotten a little bit more risk than it first looked like it did, as it's her second foul, and Lammers goes to the free throw line. Lammers twirls the ball now. Sets up, first free throw's up, it's good. 68-55. Morningside's put up a good fight against number 1 in the nation so far. Here's the second free throw. That's going to rattle around, no good. Tipped around, now Moser with it. Moser trying to make a move. She tries to get pickpocketed, it doesn't happen. Now a bounce pass, Peppers kicking. Rodenberg was there, but Moser took it away from her. Now it's Rodenberg. 3, yes! And the Mustangs cut it to a 10-point deficit. It's 68-58. Now back on defense. Here comes Concordia. They'll pass it up to Sybil. She will take it, now settles it back. Coming back to Barry, guarded by Moser. Barry, bounce pass over. Now it's Moser again, picking up DeVell, tipped around. Barry, and that's an easy basket. Great cut by Barry. It's 70-58. So with 5:25 to go, 70-58 your score. Morningside now we'll kick it over to Peppers, to Mitchell. Mitchell underneath to Hupp. Hupp, spin move and a jump ball as Morningside will keep possession, but the Bulldogs now will get the next jump ball as two Bulldogs draped all over Hupp on the play. Now looking, it's going to be Morningside to pass it in. They'll pass it in to Hupp. Now a drive on Lammers. She nearly loses it. Basket's up. It's good. It's back to a 10-point deficit. Now Morningside, still 5 minutes, so there's still time to chip away at what's been seemingly a long deficit for this Mustang team. Trailed so far gate to gate, and that layup's good. 72-60. But they have trailed by as many as 17. So the Concordia fans that have made the trip over, getting a little noisy on the far side. 4:35 to go, 74-60 Morningside. Here's Rodenberg. That basket's up, a good shot, and we're back and forth we go, 72-62. So now it's Morningside passing it around. That'll go underneath. Kepke turns it over. That'll be passed up ahead to Moser. Moser now. Rodenberg, left wide open, can cut it within 10. Misses the shot, no good. Rebounded Moser, and they cut it back to 10. 74-64. I guess I missed a basket in there, as that will go back that way. 74-64. See, I had it 72-62, so. But it is 74-64. 3:55 to go here in the fourth. Now settling back is Barry. Concordia probably inclined to take as much time as they can in the remainder of the way here. Assuming they make their shots, they can run this clock out with maybe relative ease. Down to 7 seconds. They need a quick basket. That shot through traffic's missed. Gets her own rebound, and now they're going to get a foul. We'll see who the foul goes against here, as it's either Rodenberg or Hupp. No, I got that wrong either way. It's Abby Dreeling who picks up the foul. She was in that scrum as well. And now it's going to be some key free throws. First free throw's up. It's good. 75-64, and this is a team that went to the national championship, won it all last year, so clutch free throws not really going to be an issue for them. Second free throw up. And that one's also good. Back to a 12-point Morningside deficit. Now the Bulldogs have pulled press. 3.5 to go. 76-64. Both teams have 2 timeouts. Now it's Mitchell. She'll look, tries to kick back. Now over to Hupp. Hupp thinks about a three. Now we'll waft it over. Mitchell, deep three, no good. Rebounded by Dreeling, who puts up the basket, and it's back to a 10-point deficit. 76-66, and a foul is going to be called against Jordan Moser. She knew it immediately, as it was Riley Sybil bringing it up. 3:06 to go, 10-point Concordia advantage. Morningside, that one will be handed off. Now it's going to be driving in, and that's as easy as it's going to get if you're Concordia. 78-66, coast to coast off the handoff from midcourt. 78-66, Mitchell with the ball. They'll look, try to set up a screen, did Rodenberg, it didn't really work. Mitchell driving in, somehow that found its way out to Moser. Moser over, Dreeling, Rodenberg. Bounce pass out, Dreeling. Now they'll throw it to Mitchell, to Moser, to Hupp. 9 seconds. Now they're going to waft it, and there's no way Mitchell could keep that one in. Off of her right hand and out of bounds. 2:33 to go, 78-66. So 78-66, both teams, 4 fouls, both teams 2 timeouts, and the Bulldogs lead by 12. They'll pass it over. Now a bouncing over to Barry. Really, Concordia can take as deep into the shot clock as they want here. Now they'll kick it over to Lammers, over to Sybil, back out to Barry. Barry for 3, it's good. 81-66, and Morningside now needs some quick points and defensive stops now, as this has been pushed out to a 15-point Concordia lead. Now it's Moser, as that jumper is going to be short off the front of the rim, tipped around, Hupp's there. Hupp tries to drive in, get the 3-point play. Somehow the foul's not going to be called there. A timeout taken, as that will make it 81-68. Timeout taken. We'll be back in 30, 1:52 to go. Your Mustangs find themselves down by 13.
140 characters is enough to say. I'll be short and sweet and keep it short and sweet. Why don't you follow me? I'm on Twitter.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fusion93KMSC.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone?
Do flowers have best friends?
I don't know. Hey, look.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is Sierra Mitchell, and you are tuned into the home for Mustang women's basketball on Fusion 93 KMSE.
And welcome back as your Mustangs trail 81-68, a close second half in total, as the teams that both put up 35 in the second half. It's just been the tough first quarter where Concordia came out and just rolled to a 27-12 lead. That's been the difference so far in this one. Morningside won the second, lost the third by a point, and has now led in the fourth by a point. So since the first, the Mustangs have started to figure things out. Now pressure needed, and this is going to be a run down the middle as Moser will get there just in time, and that one was nearly a 3-point play. The foul will go against Moser, her second. 1:50 to go, 81-68. Free throws coming up from Riley Sybil. Free throws up, it's good, as 82-68. Now bounces it, now settles. Second free throws up, that one's good as well. 84-68. So they pushed it back out to a 16-point Concordia advantage. 1:45 to go. Mitchell inside to Peppers, out to Moser, stop, pop, 3, good! And that cuts it back to a 12-point lead. It's 83-71. 83-71 as Mitchell will pick up the foul. So now it just is, see how well they shoot the free throw down the stretch here for the Bulldogs. Now stepping to the line is Grace Berry. Berry coming in 15 of 18 from the free throw line. It's up, and it's no good. So the friendly roll doesn't go the way of the Bulldogs on that one as it dances around the iron. Now the second free throw. 12-point lead. Second free throw's up. Missed both of them. Rebounded by Rodenberg. That'll come over to Dreeling to Moser. 1:30 to go. Passes ahead. That's going to go to Mitchell. They'll go underneath as that's going to be underneath. A great shot there from Peppers. Back to a 10-point game. 83-73. Concordia brings it up. Now they'll look to the corner. Sets it back out to Lammers. Lammers tries to drive in. They'll kick it back. Morningside starting to get into need to foul territory here as it's down to 14 seconds. Down to 63 seconds to play here on this one. Now they'll look over. Driving in, kicking it back out. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. I guess Concordia can't afford the turnover as that is going to be the latest foul possible for Concordia. That's going to go against Mitchell with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Certainly an interesting decision to not foul earlier in that possession, but still 53 and a half seconds left. You're only down by 10.
First free throw's up, it's good. Well, I guess you had to decide you're either fouling at the beginning or you're not fouling at all. As fouling at the end like that gives Concordia a chance to pad their lead. It's an 11-point lead now. They'll pass it up ahead to Peppers. Mitchell, she thinks about it, now drives in, tries to pass, and holy moly, I don't know how that made it through, but it did. Morningside's within 9. 84-75, it's a 9-point Concordia advantage. That's going to get through. Now it's a couple of fouls that weren't called there. That's an interesting one. Kepke comes over. Now they're just going to pass it around with 33.1 seconds to go. Interesting, the foul from Dreeling at half court wasn't called to begin with.
Yeah, you could tell Morningside was trying to foul, but not sure what happened there.
Dreeling gets the second, picks up her second, so she does end up getting the foul. As now coming over Grace Berry for free throws. 84-75, it's within 9. It's the closest it's been since the third quarter when it was 50-41. The Mustangs got within 34-31 as the first free throw is buried, and it's out to a 10-point advantage for Concordia. They'll stay under triple digits, which was one of the keys we talked about in the pregame of Morningside being able to keep them under 100, barring 14 points in the next 30 seconds, which is highly unlikely. The Mustangs will have done at least that. Now it's Moser struggling to get it around. Now it's Mitchell out to Dreeling. Somehow that's not a foul. They're going to push it over to Moser. She fakes, now puts up a three, no good, and that'll be rebounded up front. Dreeling can't put it away. Rodenberg can't put it away as that will likely wind out the clock. A foul late, it goes against Dreeling. That's going to be her third with 6.7 seconds to go. And Concordia will stay unbeaten in the G-Pack, but a pretty good fight put up by these Mustangs after trailing 12-0 out of the gate and 27-12 after one quarter.
And that was a very hard foul there by Morningside.
6.7 seconds to go. Free throws coming to pad the lead in what's been a good G-Pack battle. First one's up and good. As it's 87-75, 12-point lead for Concordia. As like I said, they will improve to 10-0, 6-0 in the G-Pack. Second free throw's up and it's good as well, 88-75. As Morningside will fall to 8-3 and 5-2 in the conference. Be interesting to see what Morningside does. 6.7 seconds to go. Moser has it now. 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Kicks it. Peppers will take the short jump shot and make it at the buzzer, so it'll cut the lead to 11. But the Mustangs still fall 88-77. But a good effort put together into this one as they will finish out the fourth quarter, winning the fourth quarter, in fact, 31-28. So they do have stuff to work off of this last half as they were able to put together a good effort down the stretch